Money is tight for everyone nowadays, and let's be honest, the last thing you want to spend your money on in this economy is a set of tires. But what if you have no choice? Well, let me share 5 money saving ideas with you today as we talk tires. If the idea of spending $500, $800, $1,000 on a set of new tires makes you nauseous, you're not alone. Money is tight for most of us. So let me share with you these 5 ways you can cut the cost of a set of tires, as well as one way that you might think is a good way to cut costs, but I definitely wouldn't recommend it. So let's get into it. Number 1, consider a value tier tire. Now, the tire industry is often talked about in tire tiers or tire levels. So Tier 1 tires would be the big names like Goodyear, Bridgestone, Michelin, etc. But below that tier are brands like Firestone, Toyo, Dunlop, and the like. And they're better priced than those top tier tire brands. So if you're shopping for the most affordable new tires on the market, you don't want to look at those top tier tires. You want to look down at the value tier, which includes brands that you maybe have never heard of, maybe never even shopped for, like Salem, Hi-Fly, Triangle, and many others. They may not offer everything you'd get from a top tier tire, but they will save you money. Option number 2, consider buying used tires. Now, if you shop around online on Kijiji, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or somewhere else, you can usually find a good deal on a set of used tires. In addition, some tire retailers specialize in used tires. That's all they sell. And you can Google used tire retailers near me to see who sells them in your area. Now, although a set of used tires will save you money, let me offer you a word of caution. If you're buying a set of used tires, make sure to check how old they are by referring to the code stamped on the tire sidewall. Even if you're buying a brand new set of tires online from someone, check the code on the sidewall when you finally meet them face to face before handing over your cash. These tires may even look brand new. They may be brand new, but they may have been sitting in someone's garage for the last 10 years, in which case you definitely do not want them. Now, if you're not sure which code I'm talking about, I'll leave a link to a video that explains how to check the age of a tire, and you'll see that link at the end of this video. Option number 3, consider buying retreaded tires. Now, I can't tell you how many times I purchased retreaded tires in my youth, many, many years ago, when money was really tight. Now, like used tires, they cost a fraction of what you'd pay for a brand new tire. But unlike used tires, retreaded tires come with a brand new tread on them, a full depth tread. They're not partially worn down like a used tire is. So what are retreaded tires? Well, basically, they're older tires, the tire casing, that now has a new tread glued onto it, giving them a second life. Now, retreading tires is a big thing in the commercial tire world. The tires you see on those big transport trucks on the highways, they usually have retreaded tires on them because it's a great way for those transport companies to save money. So if they can do it, so can you. Option number 4, consider buying a house brand tire. So much like the value tier tires that we already spoke about, house brand tires can be very affordable. Now, they're made exclusively for a particular retailer, but they're made by the same tire companies that make the better known brand name tires. For example, in the US, Pep Boys offers, I believe it's called the Futura brand of tires. And in Canada, Canadian Tire offers a Motormaster brand. Now, these brands are made specifically for those retailers. You won't find them anywhere else, and they're usually more affordable than the big name brands, those top tier tires. Option number 5, consider financing your option. So if all these strategies still leave you strapped for cash, consider buying from a tire retailer who would be willing to finance your purchase. In other words, you get to drive out of the store with a set of new tires, and the store gives you, 6 months or 12 months or maybe even more to pay off your purchase. Now check online to see which tire retailers offer this deferred payment plan in your area, because frankly not every retailer does. Now, option number 6, and this will be the do not do this option. So let's look at one cost-cutting strategy you may be tempted to try, but I really wouldn't recommend it. And that's buying only 2 new tires instead of 4. And then putting those 2 new tires on your drive axle and leaving the older worn-out tires on the other axle. While this will definitely cut your costs in half, you may end up regretting the decision later on. That's because you need all 4 of your tires to have the same kind of grip. So if you put 2 brand new tires on the front axle or rear axle and then the older tires on the other axle, you'll have trouble the older axle will have trouble keeping up, and you won't be able to predict how your vehicle will respond or behave in slippery conditions. So if you're going to ignore this advice and buy 2 new tires anyway, make sure to put them on the rear axle, even if you have a front-wheel drive vehicle. Now, why would you want your best tires on the rear axle? Simply because this will assure that you don't start fishtailing in slippery conditions. Now, why would you fishtail? Because your front wheels with the new tires will have better grip. So now you're driving, you're turning, maybe a sharp turn, and you're going to assume that, oh, I can handle this turn at this speed, even on this slippery road. But then your rear axle with the old tires has to make that same turn, and it can't. It'll lose grip, it'll start fishtailing, and that can get you into trouble. Now, we talked earlier about not getting duped into buying tires that are way past their best before date. So if you'd like to know how to tell the age of any tire, check out the video over here. That way you won't end up paying for tires that are too old or too dangerous to use. And as always, thanks for watching.